Hi, my name is Nikita. I'm from Pentagon Fitness. This is Julian. Today we're going to be showing how to do squats properly, and then later on we're going to point out some mistakes that people usually make. Alright? Alright, so Julian is going to demonstrate how to do squats properly right now. He's going to do a couple reps, and then we're going to break it down step by step how to do it. Julian? Thank you, Julian. Julian walking into the rack and getting under the bar. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that your position, we're going to do a high bar squat, so it's going to be on the upper traps. You want to make sure that you push your chest out as much as you can and push your shoulders down to maintain a neutral spine. Your lats have to be engaged. So only when you secure this position, you're going to get out and walk back. Alright, the next step is you want to position your feet either shoulder width apart or slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Then you want to rotate your toes slightly out to make sure that you can, when you go down, you can get the proper depth and bring the hips as low as possible. Now, we already can see that Julian's chest is out. So now what he's going to do, he's going to drive his hips as far back as he can, and at the same time driving it straight down. When he's doing that, you can notice that his knees align with his toes. It's crucial. And then his hips come as low as possible. They have to come lower than parallel. Basically, he needs to push his chest out as much as possible, push his shoulders down, engage the lats. Only then he can perform a squat, right? So to initiate squat, you need to initiate by tilting your pelvis and then driving your hips as far back and straight down, getting as low as possible and only then coming up. He's going to perform a couple reps. He's going as low as possible and then he's coming straight up. At all times, he keeps his chest out and his lats engaged. If you loosen up your back, you won't be able to perform a squat correctly. So you need to keep that intra-abdominal pressure, keep your abs tight, and keep your chest out to perform a squat correctly. Alright, so to start squats, you need to make sure you position your feet shoulder width apart or slightly wider. He's going to rotate his toes out. That way he'll be able to engage more of his glutes, his buttocks, and inner thigh. So before he starts going down, he wants to make sure that the weight is always in the middle of his foot. You don't want to keep it on your toes. Okay, he's going to initiate the movement from his hips. He's going to push his hips as far back as he can, and he's going to try to sit down right in between his legs, making sure that his knees are always aligned with his toes. Then he's going to initiate the movement up, also from his hips, fully contracting his buttocks. One more rep. And up. Good. Lots of bells. Okay, so now when he's performing a squat, you'll notice that the bar keeps moving in a straight line at all times. So can you please perform a squat, Julian? Up. Good. Good. And now on the last one, can you hold it when you get down all the way? So notice, when he gets all the way down, the bar is right over the middle of his foot. It's very crucial to make sure that the bar stays over the middle of his foot. Come up. I want to talk a little bit about the breathing technique during this exercise. You need to make sure you have a sufficient amount of intra-abdominal pressure. So you want to make sure your abs are tight, your erectors, the back muscles are tight. The breathing techniques will be he'll inhale prior to making the movement, then he's going to go all the way down and exhale only coming up. The reason we want to do that is because if he exhales during the movement, the intra-abdominal pressure will disappear, the abdominals are not going to be as tight, he will collapse, and the exercise is not going to be executed properly. So once again, you exhale at the top, Inhale at the top and keep it tight throughout the movement. Thank you, Julia.
So what we're going to go over right now is common mistakes we see as trainers with the squat as we're walking around the gym, okay? So first things Nikita's going to do here is unracking the bar improperly. Okay, so show us with the rounded back. Now what this is going to do is really put the back at risk of injury. You're not going to be able to get as much weight off the rack as you would with the proper positioning of your torso. Okay, so how we correct that is put the bar back. Just like we went over at the beginning, is getting under the bar, getting your entire body under there as if you were doing a squat already. So picking up the weight as if you're mid-squat. Basically positioning the body properly to lift the weight. So this is one of the most common mistakes we see. People have their feet too narrow. This is not going to let the hips drop. It's going to bring your upper body way too far over, almost as if you're leaning forward. The weight tends to go off, being straight over the foot, and it's not going to allow the hips to drop properly to get posterior chain engagement. Okay? Toes are going to be slightly pointed outward, the knees are going to track right over them, and he's going to be able to activate his glutes and his hamstrings much more because he's going to be able to drop lower. This is going to take a lot of stress off of the knee and create a lot of muscular tension in the hammies and glutes. The other thing that could be happening from the knees caving is tight adductor muscles. So this is the muscle on the inner thigh. So when you're getting past a certain point, they're going to be pulling the knees in together because they can't expand longer as they're going down. And it's evident by the way they draw in. And if you still can't really get them out to track over your toes, you need to get some flexibility training. You need to start stretching your adductors. Okay, so the last mistake that we're going to cover with the squat is straightening out the legs before the hips come in. So what's happening is the quads are engaging, not much from the glutes. What's left to straighten you out? Usually just the lower back, as opposed to using the glutes, hamstrings to push your hips forward and making sure you straighten out. Okay, so if at any point you're not fully straightening out, you're not using your hips, your glutes as much as you could be. Okay, and it's very likely you're just feeling this on the quad versus throughout the back of the leg. So that's our video for today on proper squat technique. If you like the video, please like the video. And if you're not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe right now.
And follow us on Twitter at Pentagon Fitness. And also like our Facebook page, Pentagon Fitness. Thank you very much for your time.